my name's Grandad.
Thanks for joining us again. We're going to be tiling the shower today. Well, Ady is. I'm going to be filming and watching and clearing up behind him.
We've actually gone for two sort of plank style floor tiles for the seating area. They're like a natural sort of stone finish to them. We lay them at a slight angle so the water will run off them. This flexible fibre adhesive is really great to use, and it's designed to be used in areas of sort of movement and vibration.
Missed the blue tiles going up on the wall, but just caught this bit of image on the phone. My battery unfortunately ran out on the GoPro.
Blue tiles were a bit of a nightmare to cut, to be fair. For the tiles that couldn't be cut with a tile cutter, we used a cutting disc in the angle grinder, and after quite a few attempts and a bit of practice, we tried 2 or 3 different blades. We found the best method was to actually put masking tape over the tile, draw your pencil line mark where you need the tile to be cut, and then just follow that line with the disc blade. The best blade we found to use for these tiles was a Ruby Viper Super Pro, which is designed to be used on porcelain tiles.
Perfecto.
Yeah, it's about there, isn't it?
Mm.
When I first saw her, a black cat crossed my trail. Bad news and high heels made me go off the rails. But one look at her, she's oh so fine. I know I've got to make her mine. She's just my kind, I can't get her off my mind. not an unlucky man.
We're drilling the holes out here for the shower pipes to come through for the mixer valve. What I've done here, I've had to improvise a little bit because the hole saw, this diamond bladed hole saw, to stop it from sort of skating around the tile, if I just put it straight on directly on the tile, I've pilot holder drilling a hole in the tile and then just stuck the masonry bit, if you like, inside the hole saw. Put it back on the tile just so it keeps the hole saw in place, otherwise it'll just skate all over the top of the tile, and it seemed to work quite well. To say it was a bit of a make do and mend. This is actually take two because I drilled the first hole in the wrong place, so if you look behind me you'll probably see a great big pile of old scrap tiles. it was nice to get on an area of the shower where I could put more than just a couple of tiles on before having to do any cuts, although there is cuts to be done either side, as you can see, but it was nice to actually put 3 or 4 or 5 in a row of full tiles before having to do that. I don't think I've ever known so many cuts in a shower. The good thing about these white tiles is they're a completely flat surface to them. There's no sort of beveled edge to them, so when you're having to do all the cuts, it does make life a lot easier. One tip I would say to anybody that's sort of new to tiling is if you do decide to do this brick pattern, just check your vertical lines of your joints, because if you don't keep them in line, when you grout them up, it'll really show that they're sort of running out of line.
Getting there?
Yeah, starting to, isn't it? If you look to the right hand side of the picture, where the tiles are going to finish on the right hand side, you can finish with a tile trim going up there, but we've decided not to, because we've wrapped the corner around, if you like, with plywood, which is painted 2 or 3 times, and it isn't actually going to be in contact with any of the water from the shower, because it's going to actually sit on the exterior of the shower door that's being fitted on there, so we think it just finishes that edge off a bit better than plastic tile trim.
Using the same floor protector stuff that I used before on the last lot of templates, I made a small template for the top bit. This made it easier for Ady to make the curve of the ceiling. He just laid the template onto the tiles and traced around it.
The edge of the gunnel, we've used a plastic tile trim, which is, as you've just seen, you just smear the tile adhesive onto the wall and then press that into it to fix it. If I'd have been clever enough, I would have made that gunnel wall slightly higher or lower, just basically so that my first tile that's going to go up this wall finishes on the same joint as the opposite wall. But hey ho, you live and learn.
Tiling this wall in them same tiles, them brick tiles, was going to cause a little bit of a problem, but we decided that we would prefer to live with that than have a different type of tile there. Because it's a slanted wall, on every tile, on every line of tile, you're going to lose about 1 mil in the grout line. So by the time you've reached the top, the tiles aren't lined up with the side walls, the flat walls. You'll probably see that as you get up, or if you don't sit on this bit, you'll see it when we grout it.
If I was a younger man, I'd probably get this done in a day or two, but I'm getting old now, so it's took me about 3 or 4 weeks. no, it took me about 3 or 4 days, but yeah, there you go. And breathe. And breathe. No more cuts.
Well, there is when you come down to do this bit. We've got to wait
thanks.
to wait to the sink.
Oh, thanks,
the
Sam.
sink is in first.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Anyway, that's done now.
Brilliant. I love it.
I do. Yeah, I'm pleased with that.
That is great.
Just a bit of a quick clean up now and remove any of the tile adhesive that squoze through the joints.
Squoze?
Yes.
Squoze? Is that such a word?
Yeah, it is in Nottingham.
Squoze through the joints.
But yeah, and then it's a case of next stage is to start on the grouting.
What are we using?
We're using that Bell Micromax Inspirations.
In Swash Blue.
Swash Blue we're going for flavour. Swash Blue flavour. So wait
It's
till
actually perfect colour, actually.
yeah. After leaving the grout to settle 2 or 3 minutes in the bucket and then giving it a quick stir, it's ready to go on the tiles.
To highlight the tiles, we decided to go with a contrasting colour. When it's dry, it looks very similar colour to the floor tiles. We're using it on the floor as well. Quite expensive stuff, but I think it was worth it in the end.
To put this grout onto the tiles, we're using what you can see there, it's a like a rubber faced float. I think they're pretty standard tiling kit, I think, anyway, but there's no real special technique to it. You just basically get it on the float, put it on the tiles, and work it sort of left to right, diagonally across the tiles, and you'll see just by as you start doing that whether you've missed any areas or whatever. One thing I would say to you is that you try and get as much of this off without removing too much from the joints, but try and get as much of it off the face of the tile, because it will make life a lot easier for you in the future. Once you've let this sort of grout dry out a bit, you then have to go over it obviously to remove the excess. So the more excess you remove now, the better, without removing too much. You do have to be fairly quick applying this if you're doing it all in one hit like this, because it's only got a certain amount of work time with it, and it was quite a warm day, and plus I'm quite a warm person. It did actually speed up the drying process.